Hey you! Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today I wanted to talk about the things that I'm learning about masculine and feminine energies and how these energies are directly related with that inner balance that we feel within ourselves. And I know when I mention masculine and feminine energy, the first thing that comes to mind that masculine is male dominant and feminine is female dominant. However, this is one of the biggest misconceptions about masculine and feminine energies. When I say masculine, I do not mean that it is manly or male like or related to the male gender. Similarly, when I say feminine, it does not mean womanly or something that is related to the female gender. Being a man and being masculine are two very different things, and similarly with being a woman and being feminine. And this is the first thing that I have learned about masculine and feminine energy. Masculine and feminine energy are not at all related with if you're a man or if you're a woman. They are not gender specific energies. So, what exactly is masculine and feminine energy then? What I am learning about these energies is that these energies give you your character traits. These energies build up your personality. So these energies are directly related with how your character is and how your personality is. These energies have got literally nothing to do with what your gender is. What I am learning about the masculine energy is that it's very structure oriented. It gives you the trait of discipline, logic, the need for structure in life, the need for planning. It's very focused, very goal oriented. So all of these character traits you get from the masculine energy. What I'm learning about the feminine energy is that it's a very go with the flow kind of energy. So it gives you spontaneity, it gives you creativity, it makes you open to new possibilities. It's very nurturing, it's very caring kind of energy. It's very experimental. So all of these character traits, they stem from the feminine energy. Having said that, the lines between masculine and feminine, they are very blurry. You never know when the masculine energy is ending and when the feminine energy is beginning. So the distinction between the two is not very clear. And a person keeps oscillating between masculine and feminine, and sometimes both the energies come into play. For example, the need to care for others, the need to protect others, like the need to protect your family or your friends or your children, that can be both the masculine and the feminine energy into play. Now, another very big thing that I have learned about masculine and feminine energy is that each one of us has an element of masculine and an element of feminine energy, irrespective of our genders. You as a person would have both masculine and feminine energies, no matter if you're a male or a female. So men also have a feminine side to them and women have a masculine side to them. However, what I'm also observing about these energies is that within a person, there is always one energy which would dominate the other one. And this is what I have observed in myself as well. I personally feel that I am more in touch with my masculine than with my feminine. And that is because I'm very ambitious, I've been working, I've been hustling, and I love to plan things, I love having control over whatever I can control, and all of that stems from my masculine side. And it's not only me. I think women today, especially women who are working or have some big dreams or goals, they would resonate with me, because for these kind of women, the activation of masculine energy is actually needed for them to achieve their goals. So I'm sure that women who are working today, who are highly ambitious, would be able to relate that they are more in touch with their masculine side than with their feminine side. Taking the example of men, and this is very less talked about, I feel. Men, for some reason, and because of, the society, are not allowed to be in touch with their feminine side. That's what I feel. You won't find many men who are openly vulnerable or have the ability to emote or be very much in touch with their emotions, because all of that is a result of being in touch with your feminine. And men, for some reason in society, are not allowed to do that, because if they get in touch with their feminine, they are shamed for it. And it's just really sad. Nobody really encourages men to be in touch with their feminine. However, having said that, I feel that men also have a feminine side. Just because they are not allowed by the society to be in touch with that feminine side, it doesn't mean that that feminine side does not exist. So many men out there, they're so creative in their fields. So many men are spontaneous. They take care of their family and their friends. And all of those traits in men, they stem from their feminine energy. And that is the way that they find to harness their feminine. Now, moving on to how masculine and feminine energy is related to balance or lack thereof. You know, people keep saying here and there that it's all about balance, you need to find balance, but then nobody will tell you how to find balance, which is kind of funny. Now, what I am learning about achieving this inner balance is that it has got a lot to do with balancing out these masculine and feminine energies within us. Oftentimes in life, we feel an imbalance within us because either the masculine or the feminine energy is overpowering the other one. So, to find that inner balance within us, it's important that we balance these masculine and feminine energies. And what I essentially mean by that is that, firstly, being aware of the masculine and the feminine side of you, irrespective of your gender, and accepting that, not judging that. And secondly, finding outlets for both of those energies. So, taking my own example in this case, like I mentioned, I am more masculine than feminine, and that sometimes causes me to be in an imbalanced state of mind. I have mentioned it in my previous videos as well that I am someone who really loves control. And sometimes that can backfire on me because my need for control is so overpowering that it makes me forget that there are a lot of things that are out of my control. And then I just keep stressing over the little things which I shouldn't really be stressing about. And that is the imbalance that I'm talking about. And that need for control comes from an overstimulated masculine energy. Now, because of my lifestyle and because of the way that I choose to live, I cannot really suppress that masculine energy. However, I can give room for my feminine energy to exist as well. And to give room to that feminine energy, the first thing that I need to do is acknowledge the fact that my feminine energy does not have enough room in the first place. Once I am able to acknowledge that fact, and once I am able to accept that truth about myself, that's where I can start working on building my feminine energy as well. So yeah, the first step to achieving that balance is to acknowledge that maybe you are dominant in one of the energies, and that is where you can start working on building the other energy as well. Now, moving on to how to build your masculine or your feminine energy. In my own personal experience, I have found that building your masculine energy is a lot easier than building your feminine energy. To build your masculine energy, what you can do is follow a routine or follow a regimen of some sorts. Once you follow a routine, you start building the discipline. Since the masculine energy is very goal-oriented, very focused, all you need to do is find one goal and work towards that goal, and you'll see your masculine energy being activated within you. So yeah, you can set up a routine, you can set up some goals for yourself, and then set up a plan on how to achieve those goals. Work on your plan every day, be consistent, develop habits. Since the masculine energy is very action oriented, that is why it's a lot easier, because your actions are in your control for the most part. The feminine energy, however, is a bit trickier to harness and to build. And what I am learning about feminine energy is that feminine energy thrives in the sense of safety. As long as you're feeling safe, you can let your feminine energy take over. Coming back to my example of men and how they are out of touch with their feminine, that's because the society doesn't make them feel safe when they're being vulnerable. Most men, they always have that doubt on whether they'll be judged for being vulnerable or not. They don't feel safe to express their feelings. People don't make them feel safe for the most part. And that is the reason why most men are out of touch with their femininity, because feminine energy, it requires a level of safety to express itself. Even women don't feel safe anymore within society, and that is why even they are losing touch with their femininity. We cannot really expect safety from other people around us. Not many people make us feel safe. There are only a few handful of people in your life who you will feel safe with, but for the most part, people can be judgmental. People can be harsh on you. But what we can do to make our femininity flourish, that's what I'm doing at least, is trying to make myself feel safe. Creating environments which feel safe for me. Feeling safe in my own company. I'll give you an example. I recently got a car, but before that I was driving around in my scooter. And when I used to drive my scooter, I never really even thought about getting colorful clothes for myself, or colorful blazers, or dresses, or traditional wear, or stuff like that. I never even used to think about those things, because you're out in the sun, the dust settles on you, a car may hit you anytime. Riding a scooter is really unsafe. After I got a car and after I started driving, I started feeling safe again on the road. Especially because of that feeling of safety, I started purchasing good clothes, colorful clothes, dresses, kurtis, beautiful, colorful blazers. And so I feel that since my car makes me feel safe, I can walk around in heels, or I can wear a good dress whenever I'm going out in my car. So yeah, to make your feminine flourish, you need to feel safe in the first place. If you make yourself feel safe enough, you can be creative, you can be expressive, you can be spontaneous. Having said that, it's not a one-day job. It's not a process that happens overnight. It takes time to balance out both these energies. And so yeah, I'm giving myself time to build out the feminine side of me as well. I'm still learning, and if I find any other ways, I will definitely share that with you in another video. And so yeah, that's what I've learned so far about masculine and feminine and how to achieve that inner balance. I hope that you enjoyed this one and it gave you some insight on these things that are less talked about. Thank you so much for watching if you watched till the end, and I'm so grateful for you for watching my videos and interacting with me and giving me so much support and giving me such great ideas for videos as well. I hope to see you soon. Till then, take care.